Drawing blade.
Don't be complacent. Finish the mission.
Lethal grace.
What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and I am super excited to finally bring back to you some knife only gameplay, the original reason why I started this gaming channel, and it's some Black Ops 4 knife only gameplay for you. And I could not be more happier that they brought back the Spectre specialist, which was my favorite specialist in Black Ops 3, and I was super disappointed when they did not bring him back initially on the release of Black Ops 4, but as you probably know, with Operation Uprising, the main feature of this was the Spectre specialist, and I could not have been more excited and pumped for it. And they also announced there will be a ballistic knife coming out pretty soon, and unfortunately has not been made available yet, which kind of disappointed me. But either way, if they do add a ballistic knife, it's gonna make like distance knife kills much easier, given the fact that, you know, the combat axes don't recharge very quickly. I've done a time on it, or at least researched on it, and it's about 15 seconds with the equipment charge. And here we go, running with the Shadow Blade. The Shadow Blade's actually really cool for what it is. You get commando lunge just like with the Ripper, but it's in a third person perspective mode. Unfortunately I got killed there, and that's another thing. I think the difference with the Shadow Blade versus the Ripper is obviously the Shadow Blade, you seem to be a little bit more vulnerable even when you are in range of the person that you're trying to slash. And so in that sense, like, you really have to close the distance, and it's a good thing that they provide you the rolling ability, because as you saw, you can actually roll forward, backward, all that stuff to dodge bullets and actually close the distance on the enemy. And also you can kind of move around a bit faster too. And you will also notice that you can actually, in fact, throw the samurai sword as well, or sorry, the Shadow Blade as it's called. The only downside to that though is once you throw it, unless you hit the dude, I'm pretty sure that's the only time you pretty much finish your specialist ability at that point, which to me it's not really worth it. One thing that would have been nice is that you can actually throw your tomahawks too, but the only problem is there's no crosshair that pops up, so you can't really aim and use them as you would prefer. Maybe they will tweak that sometime if they patch it or whatever. But either way, you're pretty much gonna be running with the Shadow Blade anyway. So once you go into a third person view at this point. And what's kind of nice about this is you can kind of peek around corners a little bit better, and without having to expose yourself too much to enemy gunfire. So here we go. This is my second time with a Shadow Blade, and you see I roll, and damn, I get triple feed right there. Pretty freaking awesome. And I'm about to get a fourth one right now. Does not get more fun than that, honestly. This right here, like, definitely revived knifing for me in this game, and maybe perhaps revived the game for some other knifers there too. I hope I know, like, These Knives Only has spent a lot of time with the Shadow Blade and Spectre and all that, and hopefully some other knifers too. So it'd be nice to see some other knifers back in action with the Spectre and the Shadow Blade. even though getting feeds with this will be pretty easy, it'll be really fun at the same time. This is what made Black Ops 3 so much fun for me and for a lot of knifers, because the Ripper from the Spectre was what like went perfectly with our knifing style. And so, you know, the fact that they didn't have it off the bat, which in the initial launch of the game, it disappointed me. Obviously, I was a bit like upset about that. But you know, I guess after some months went by, and you know, they started adding more specialists to the game, as well as like Outrider and like Zero, and even that robot specialist. I forget his name. He's got the machine gun arm or whatever. But the nice thing about this specialist ability is it actually, like, as long as you have equipment charge, you can get your Shadow Blade about 2 or 3 times in one game. Maybe if you're really going beast mode, you'll get 4, but on average you're gonna get about 2 or 3. And when you're moving it around the map, you don't want to just pull it out right away. It's best if you flank around and you keep an eye on your radar, so that you know you are within closing distance of enemies, so that way you can guarantee yourself a few kills. And see, I almost get an extra 2 there. I got some too, but then these guys took me out. And so yeah, it really depends how you just got to be able to keep an eye on your mini map as you're running, and then get a good flank going, so you can better your chances of getting at least a few kills with the Shadow Blade. But other than that, guys, it's really fun to use, and I can definitely tell you that with this, I'm gonna be trying to bring more Black Ops 4 knifing gameplay to you, and even better, once the ballistic knife comes out, it's gonna give me a little bit more enjoyment to, or will to, play Black Ops 4, which obviously I haven't done at all much this year, because before that Black Ops 4 was just really bad for me and I just really sucked at it. And at least as of late, I've improved. Like, I've kind of, generally my knifing style is pretty aggressive. I love to just rush, and in previous Call of Duties, even recent ones like COD World War II and stuff, because you had multiple throwing knives and stuff, and you could pick them up, and you would just scavenge from dead enemies. So like, it was way easier to rush. But this game, you gotta be more tactical. You kind of have to be more patient, and you really have to focus more on like flanking around and getting around the enemy in order to do well in Black Ops 4. But more on that in the future. As you can see, my best play is highlighted here with the Shadow Blade. Again, super fun, guys. Hopefully you try it yourself. I went 35-9. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you guys in my future videos. Take care, guys. Peace.